Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey, everybody. How we doing? How are we doing, everyone? Thank you, Top Boxing. So when you didn't put in the work to be a wife, you can't expect to get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Thank you so much. And thank you, Michael, said thanks for speaking the truth. It always show up black, but the reality is this is chocolate brown. Is that crazy? It always show up so dark. Thank you, Theo Johnson. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Okay. So we got a serious one to talk about today. And you know, I notice sometimes when I talk about black mothers, it's not as populated as when I talk about other aspects of what black women do. But this is very important because that's the one aspect of how the general body or the collective body of black women have contributed to the downfall of the family. And that's actually one of the biggest ways. See, they did it by not being good wives, but they're doing an even more destructive job by not being good mothers. And it is the motherhood aspect of black women that we don't examine as much. And I don't know if it is not as titillating to talk about black motherhood, but I think a lot of people need to tune in about black motherhood because when I talk about black mothers, I'm not just talking about women and how to mother. It's not a woman's talk. So much so as it is, everybody needs to be concerned about it because black men, who are y'all having kids with? Who have you had children with? Even if you're not fathering young baby children now, you did 15 years ago. You did 8 years ago. You did 11 years ago. You did 20 years ago. And you still dealing with the consequences of having had a child with a hyena. Because there are long-term, drawn-out consequences. See, I have men approaching me for coaching as well, right? And the biggest issue that they have is not only with the behaviors of their wives, but also what do they do with the seemingly irreparably broken relationship between them and their children that the mothers ruined. How do they get that back? Can they get that back? How do they fix it? Can they fix it? They want my feminine insight about it. Thank you, Keith Blockers. I'm a 60s baby, and women of my generation did not teach their daughters how to be a wife. This is true. The boomers, I'm not even going to get into the generational thing, but something sparked this. And I'm going to show you the clip that sparked it. Shout out to Chisha Zed. He has a lot of interesting shorts. So this one, though, hits a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen. Okay. And hopefully you guys can kind of see this. I know you can see me too. So let me cut that off. And let me show you this clip.
Takes a TikTok to explain that she can't fully love her son because she admits that she hates his father. This is what's messed up in our world. Let's go. My son is not coming home today. At this point, I don't even know if I want him to ever come home. I really hate his dad, and it makes it so hard for me to like and care for him the way a mother should. I hate co-parenting with him because he won't let go of the past. We've been broken up for 10 years now, and honestly, being with him is...
Damn, look at that floor down there.
one of my biggest life regrets. But how do you look your own kid in their face, knowing that it's impossible for you to fully love them the way a mother should because you hate their dad?
So right there, guys, she admitted, in case you didn't believe it earlier, she says, how do you tell your son that it's impossible for you to fully love them because you hate their dad? This is a son's mother.
This woman takes a TikTok to explain that she can't fully love her son because she admits that she hates his father. This is what's messed up in our world. Let's go. My son is not coming home today. At this point, I don't even know if I want him to ever come home. I really hate his dad, and it makes it so hard for me to like and care for him the way a mother should. I hate co-parenting with him because he won't let go of the past. We've been broken up for 10 years now, and honestly, being with him is...
Damn, look at that floor down there.
one of my biggest life regrets. But how do you look your own kid in their face, knowing that it's impossible for you to fully love them the way a mother should because you hate their dad?
So right there, guys, she admitted, in case you didn't believe it earlier, she says, how do you tell your son that it's impossible for you to fully love them because you hate their dad? This is a son's mother.
Okay. All right. So you heard that, right? But then you had, which actually goes to prove my point of the video that I did earlier. Then you have women like Sprinkle getting on here lying that black women, the only true love you get is from the child. And notice she said the true love the woman gets is from the child. Interesting that she did not even say that it was reciprocal between the child and the mother. Thank you again, Keith said, tell your hubby Allah blessing with a jewel of a woman. Hope you have a long, prosperous marriage. Thank you so much. And she's like, I don't know if I ever want him to come home. He shouldn't. He should not. That woman's son should never be allowed to, quote unquote, come home to her or be anywhere around her or be anywhere with her, because this is how she feel about him. This goes back to the conversation that we've been having about the selfishness, which is why I kept in line with that. Black women are too selfish to be wives or mothers because she hates the father. Hate, her words, hates the father. So the love that she's supposed to have for her child is hindered due to how she feel about the father. I thought that black women was God when they was mothers. I thought black women cared a great deal about their children. I thought black women were the backbones of the community, and they were the only ones trying to hold a family together, and that black men didn't want to make families with them, and black men didn't want to marry them, and black men didn't want to take care of them, and black men didn't want their babies, and black men didn't love their children, and black men and black men and black men and black women were supposed to be these high level women that just, above reproach when it comes to their motherhood, such that even the single mother is lauded as a great boon to the community because, after all, she's doing it on her own. She's holding it down on her own. Yet, these women cannot separate their feelings for the father from the child at all. Okay? This is for the biological father, not the stepfather. I'm not talking about the stepdaddy. I'm not talking about the father figure. I'm not talking about the man that take the boy in his way. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about the baby daddy. Thank you, S. Passe says she didn't know she hated him before she got pregnant. Right. She can't separate her emotional output, the emotional impact, the feelings that she has for the father from the child. So her level of love, her level of care, her level of attentiveness depends almost solely on how she generally regards the father of the child. Now, I want the men to make note of this. I want the men to make note of this, something very important as we talk about this. Thank you, Supreme T, and African American women always had this mindset. Social media just brought it to the light. Exactly. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Supreme 10. And you're right. See, social media just is the rope that black women are using to hang themselves. Social media is the rope that black women collectively use to hang themselves. They think they be getting on here saying a word, but they be getting on here exposing the dysfunctional pathologies that they hold and call it a mindset. They call it an identity. And then want to argue that the men are getting on social media talking bad about the women. Well, I don't see no other demographic of men talking about they women like that. Yo, Zaddy do it. The white man you worship get on here and talk about white women like a dog. Because if you think the Black Manosphere is the only manosphere out here, I want you to think again. But yet, I forgot, anything that Zaddy do is forgivable. Anything that white man do is absolutely forgivable. So, thank you, Michael McCoo, again. So they expose themselves every day. Exactly. They expose themselves every single day. Right? So I want the men to make note of this. Thank you, Crazy Squirt Cell. Who stole Sherry Shepherd deep fryer? Sherry be on BS 1 minute and then she be all right the next minute. We might get to her at another point. But I'm going to repeat what I said. Her level of love that she give that child, the level of care, the level of attentiveness, and all of that type of stuff that she give that child depends directly upon how she emotionally regards the biological father of that child. Okay? Thank you, Damien. Said happy to see you back home cooking these hyenas. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I want the men to take note of this next part. I want y'all to get real close because I want to tell y'all something. I said it depends on her perception of the baby father. It has nothing to do with the integrity or the character of that man in reality. It only has to do with her perception and or feelings towards him. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? How she feel about that child is directly connected to how she feel about the father of that child. How she feels about the father of the child doesn't have anything to do with the reality of who that man is. Whether he's a good man, whether he's a Pookie Ray Ray, whether he's a thug street dude, a bum, whether he's a hard worker, whether he's a righteous upright man. It doesn't matter who he is in reality. It only matters how she perceives him to be and what her feelings are towards him. So I don't want the brothers running around here thinking, oh, well, I'm a good man, so therefore she should not be having ill feelings towards me. That is not the case. It don't have nothing to do with that. Because these hyenas have hated many an upstanding man. Many a man of integrity have been hated down to their DNA by a hyena. So it doesn't have anything to do with the actual integrity of this man. Okay? Only her perception of him, as was demonstrated in this clip. She said, I can't love and care for my son the way a mother should because I hate the father. I hate his father. Then she started projecting. Okay? We've been broken up for 10 years now, and he won't let go of the past. Yet, as she says that, this is a TikTok of her walking around that nasty, filthy place that she calls a home or an apartment with her head wild, a bathrobe. That bathroom floor, as Brother Chisher Zed pointed out, was nasty. It had all kind of panty liners on it. I know what them is. Little pieces of tissue that look garbage behind her was full, needed emptying about 2 weeks ago. And you sitting on the toilet on a TikTok in your robe, no pants on, your head wild, looking like you've been depressed for the last 2.5 years. Acting like you could sit down and eat a whole half gallon of Breyers Neapolitan by yourself during an episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Stop. But he's the problem. He can't let go. He's having an issue. Look like you having an issue. Always find a way to blame the men about what's going on with them and how inadequate she is as a mother. She blames the father for being an inadequate, hateful mother. Thank you, Miss Jordanville. Thank you, sweetheart. Then the audacity of it all. The audacity of it all is that she posted it on social media. There are a couple of things wrong with that. First thing wrong with it is that she wanted to post it publicly. She felt comfortable enough that she needed to post that publicly. Not only is it visible to strangers, it's visible to her son. Doesn't mind to express something so deeply hurtful to someone else on a public platform in a way where it can easily be brought back to him and affect him in his real everyday life. Probably confirming something that he always suspected or knew. And to get that type of confirmation from your mother. She did not even tell you that. She told TikTok that she didn't love you. I need y'all to let that marinate a little bit. Thank you, Ty Boxings, that posted CDC link. Black men more involved with their kids and other groups, which dispels the myth. This is the comfort level of black women's misandry and hatred towards black men. This is the comfort level that they are at to express it. They're more comfortable. I want y'all to think about this. They're more comfortable expressing their misandry and hatred of black men than hardcore white supremacists. Black women are more comfortable to publicly announce their misandry and hatred of black men without any repercussion or consequence. They're not going to get canceled. Nobody's going to come for them. Nobody's going to correct them. Nobody's going to say not all. Nobody's going to do any of that. She's more comfortable than a white supremacist saying how much he can't stand black people. And people will take that, women will take that and say, oh, well, she need help. Apparently she do need help, but why did she post that? This is what we have to start examining. Why are they so comfortable telling the world how much they hate black men? And they hate black men so much that it extends to the seed of black men, what black men produce, from offspring to the masculine energy that black men produce, to the industry and manufacturing of goods that black men produce, from the businesses they produce, from the things that they produce in order to procure resources. Everything that black men produce, whether it be tangible or intangible, black women hate what they produce, including the children, especially if the child is a male. In this way, she completely identifies with white supremacy and the goals of white supremacy. This is why I talk about feminism. I told y'all that was the brainchild of white supremacy, to infect the minds and hearts of black women in such a way where black women would perpetuate that between themselves to each generation. Why would you want your son to hear that you hate him? Why would you want him to hear that? And see, we know that it's not a one-off, because how many of us, both male and female, have heard our mothers get mad at us and say stuff like, I can't stand you because you look just like your bleep bleep daddy. I can't stand you because you act just like your beep beep daddy. Get out my face because you over here talking just like your daddy. I can't stand you or your daddy. How many of you? Put a 1 in the chat if that has been directly said to you from your mother growing up as a child. Put 1 in the chat if your mama, your biological mama, the woman that's supposed to love you when don't nobody else love you, the woman that's supposed to care for you if don't nobody else never care for you, your mama's supposed to care about you. After all, you were in her womb for at least 9 months. She bare pains to bring you into this world. And you would think that a process like that would create the bond between herself and her child to such an extent that she would never want to hurt her child like that. That the motherly instinct bond would be so strong that she would protect her child from harm, even if the harm came from her. I know I heard it. I heard it plenty of times. She don't like me because I look like my black A daddy. Get out my face because you running around here looking just like him. You chose him. You had 4 kids by him, lady. Same man. Of course we look like him. That's the man you chose to give 4 children to. Thank you, Ruminants. And my daughter told me my ex-wife did that to her because she behaved like me. Exactly. Thank you again, Damien. Said, I think their hatred for black men is a deep-laid hate of themselves for whatever reason. Yeah. Thank you, Supreme 10. Said, what you said, Crimson, brought me back to that scene from Boys in the Hood when the mother would say negative, hurtful words to young doughboy. Exactly. And they would tell us that we act like our daddy and we look like our daddy in a derisive way. In a way that made you as the child feel bad because that was your father, but you couldn't do nothing about that. She making you feel low about something you cannot control. So you feel almost apologetic for existing. She got you running around here feeling bad that you exist, when your existence was her choice, not yours. And that experience is commonplace among black people. When you was a child, it's commonplace. It's all in ones when I asked how many of us had heard that. Okay? But there is something else that I would like to examine, because there's a very particular way in which the hatred of the child manifests itself when she hates the father, particularly the hatred of a son. But before I get into that, we want to hear a word from our sponsor. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
What should I feed the kids? When should I feed the kids? And where am I going to feed all of these kids during my child's birthday party? We understand that planning a child's birthday party can be stressful for parents. That is, unless you hire Gamer versus Gamer. That's because every party package, starting from our standard package to our premium packages, includes cupcakes, ice cream cups, hot pizza, unlimited popcorn and drinks, and all the necessary plates, napkins, and flatware. You see, after 10 years of party planning, our expertise has taught us how, when, and which foods to serve so that it doesn't interfere with the flow of the party. Plus, parents get the added bonus of having Gamer versus Gamer feed and clean up after the kids, all from inside our 30-foot climate-controlled celebration trailer. This makes it easy and stress-free for you. Plus, your home can stay clean and kid-free. Parents simply just need to invite the guests and relax.
Gamer versus Gamer.
Gamer versus Gamer. We look forward to treating your child like the most important kid in the world on their birthday.
Hi, Gamer versus Gamer. Thank you so much for my birthday party.
Thank you so much. I love to be sponsored by Gamer versus Gamer, mainly because this is a company that focuses on the family value. It focuses on the value of children in a family. It focuses on the value of, honoring and respecting and loving our children. It also focuses on not only parents making a point to plan an elaborate, beautiful party for their children, but fathers specifically, because many times fathers are either cut out of those plans or in some way not allowed to participate in those plans. And a lot of times in our communities, our fathers are not very, hands-on or not wanted to be hands-on in with children's parties and things of that nature. It's assumed that they don't know how to plan those things or they don't know how to plan an event. What Gamer versus Gamer actually does is take all of the guesswork out of that, and it invites not only all parents but fathers particularly to be involved in the detailed planning of their child's wonderful, elaborate, and unique birthday party setups, okay? By taking the guesswork out, by taking all of the super hard work out, all that you have to do to set your child up with a love letter that lets them know how much you care about them and value them in your family. All you have to do is hit the link at the top of the chat, gamerversusgamer.com, and give them a look at their website. This is an elite service. They do a 5-star red carpet job. If you are in the Atlanta metropolitan area, you or anyone you know, and you have children with birthdays coming up and things of that nature, do yourself a favor, click the link at the top of the chat, give them a call, and have them to help you write your child a love letter. Thank you so much, Norrin. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you so much, Norrin. I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta because we have 375 awesome people who have already hit the like button, and let's see if we can get the next 400 or 500 people to hit the like button as well. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I have to have an internal talk with the twin to make sure that I keep focus on the task at hand. Because what content creators do for money. Try to help y'all. Let us know what we have to do as a people, how far we've fallen, and what are the steps that we need to take in order to get back, if indeed we want to get back to a place where we are a family and we are a community and we can be taken seriously in the land of our forefathers. And yes, this is the land of our forefathers, because when we have 500 or 600 years of our ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears, and they've been buried on this land, this is the land of our ancestors. We was here before anybody was here. This is the land of our ancestors. And I am not willing to go into extinction without saying anything. And I am not willing to have my lions and lionesses go into extinction without saying anything. That's what I'm doing for money. Huh? I'm titling the videos for clicks and views. I should hope I'm titling videos for clicks and views. I should hope I'm doing a good job of going into the algorithm where the algorithm can pick it up so it can be disseminated all across YouTube as far as it's gonna go. I should hope I was smart enough and savvy enough to title my videos in such a way where they would be getting clicks and views. I should hope I had sense enough to properly use a platform that I devote more than half my day to. I devote 15 and 16 and 17 hours a day here. Y'all get 1 hour shows and about 15 to 20-minute videos. That is not the totality of my work, because the mental energy, the research, the concept, the conceptualizing, and the presentation takes so many hours of my creative time. If I'm going to devote that kind of time, then I should think that I had sense enough to understand how the platform actually works that I decided to be on. And it works on an algorithm just like every other social media platform. So I would think that it would behoove me to make sure that thumbnails, titles, production value, audio value, the visual presentation, and the content is all up to par, adds value to people's lives, is visually appealing, somewhat entertaining, and very much educational. I should hope I know how to use the YouTube platform. I'm here. I've been here long enough to figure out how to use it. So all that sign language that you picked up from your hyena mammy about how to shame folk, you can't shame me for nothing I'm doing publicly. And I am on YouTube publicly every day. Thank you, Miss Lou Casey. Said, thank you for properly using your platform to spread excellent content, especially educating us on how an ideology is destroying society. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sis. Now that we got that out of the way, let's continue on to connect some more dots. See, the hatred that black women have for black men and everything that black men produce, whether that thing is tangible or intangible, manifests itself in several different ways. One of the most egregious and there's a word I'm looking for, but we'll go with egregious for now. One of the most egregious ways in which the hatred of the father and the son manifests itself is through the creation of the son husband. Now, I know y'all trying to figure out, how does that compute? How does that compute? How is the hatred of black men and their children, particularly their sons, demonstrate itself, at least in one way, one very profound way, is the creation of the son husband. Now, let's take a look at the son husband. The son husband, or the creation of the son husband, is disguised as love for the son. Y'all gonna really trip out when I connect these dots for y'all. The creation of the son husband is disguised as having an immense and intense love for the child, for the son. However, that is not the case. It is not love that is driving her to love bomb, seemingly, or to over coddle, or to over protect her son. She's knowingly crippling him as a man, potentially for life. That is what she's doing. She's knowingly crippling him in every way that would make him viable as a man in society and within himself. She is knowingly crippling him for that, hopefully for life. That is what she's doing. And she's disguising it as love. I love my child. The reality is that the creation of a son husband is a punishment both for the biological father and to the son. We about to get deep. We about to get deep. See, it's not just, oh, he a simp, he a son husband, he was raised by a single mother. See, not all son husbands are raised by single mothers. Let's get that out of the way. Thank you, Keith. Said it's called the Oedipus complex. Yes. See, not all son husbands are raised by single mothers. Sometimes they got the father in the house. It's a punishment. This is why she will not be a unified front in how to raise the children. She always go against him when when he tried to discipline his son and instill lessons of masculinity, she saves the boy. Don't talk to him like that. Don't punish him like that. Don't say that to him. You being too rough. It's disguised as love. It's disguised as a mother's protective instinct for her child. She goes into that mode when she sees the father of the child, whether she's with the father or not. She goes into that mode when she sees the father try to instill the discipline necessary for his son to function properly as a man when he get older. He's going to have to understand how to move around men, and only men can teach that dynamic to young boys growing up. That's why they say can't no woman raise no man, because there are certain dynamics that exist from man to man that women will never understand because we're not men. Men relate to women much differently than they relate to one another. And so fathers teach their son about the pecking order and about the hierarchy of men. What you should and should not be doing with other men, in front of other men, around other men, what's acceptable, what's not, what's liable to get your head knocked off, and what gets you accepted. What's acceptable to men and what's not acceptable to men. And only a man can teach a growing boy those lessons. And a lot of times, the teaching of those lessons require that the boy actually go through the trial to learn it firsthand. You know, they can't always be told. You got to be shown. You remember that saying? I can show you better than I can tell you. Sometimes the boy, that's why daddy will let you fall off the bike and skin your knee. Daddy will let you do it. Daddy will let you fall. Daddy will let you get hurt. Daddy let you get scraped up. Daddy will let you fight. Daddy will let you have that confrontation. Daddy will let his son do that so he can learn it firsthand. Going on out there. It's not a threat. He just need to know. When you go out there and you're with other men, this is the reality of life. You liable to get hurt, or anything can happen. The threat of violence is always consistent between men, whether that's in a game setting or a serious setting. The threat of violence is always there. And as a man, you have to learn how to handle that energy. Learn how to channel your aggression as a boy. Learn conflict resolution as a boy. Thank you, Eric. Learn these things as a boy. Your mama can't tell you about conflict resolution the way men resolve conflict, because women don't do that. Fighting is male conflict resolution between men. So that's why if one little boy messing with his son, he won't go tell the daddy and the mama about the little boy messing with his son unless he know it's something his son can't handle. Unless he know for a fact his son is too young and cannot handle what's going on and he got to handle it for him, he'll protect his son. But if it's kind of on equal ground, he 13, 14, the other boy 13, 14, 15, whatever, and that other boy keep on saying something, trying to pick with him, hey, stand up to that. Don't let him talk like that to you. You cannot let folks talk like that to you. Now, I ain't saying you got to go around and fight everybody, but you cannot shy away from it all the time either. You got to know when to pick a battle. This is a battle you need to learn how to fight. You need to learn how, this is a battle you got to pick. Now, next time that boy come around here and doing such and such, you better not take that. Don't you let him get away with that. I don't care what you got to do. You want me to fight? And he questioning it because his mammy told him don't never lay his hands on nobody and come tell her if somebody fighting him. His mammy done told him that if somebody, another little boy saying something to him, is to come tell her, See, daddy don't teach that lesson like that. Daddy don't do that. Daddy tell him, you better go on over there. Don't you let him talk like that to you. If you let him do it, everybody will do it. I got your back. Go on head over there. And next time that little boy says something out of the way, he look at his daddy look at him like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I'm not stepping into that. What are you gonna do? I've watched this in real time. What you gonna do? And if the two little boys got a squabble, then they just got a squabble. They don't let it go too far. That's old school. If they squabble, let them squabble. If he get, beat up or banged up, okay. It's a lesson in that too. Every grown man that know how to fight and know how to protect himself and is good at that can always tell you a story about when he lost a fight. You understand me? A man that's good at protecting physically and he can protect himself and he can fight, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. He don't shy away from things like that if he don't have to. He can always tell you a story about when he got whooped up. He can always tell you that story. Yeah, man, I got whooped. He might even tell you, man, I used to get whooped up all the time till I did such and such, till I found out how to do such and such. Man, I remember them boys around there jumped me so bad, man, jumped me. Man, and ever since then, I learned how to box. Or ever since then, I learned how to fight. Or ever since then, I went in the military, man. Man, I said I wasn't going to get jumped like that no more. That's the world of boys and men. Thank you, Be About Peace and Pleasure. Said my son has fought boys old and large, and I found out a day later someone got a black eye, usually a boy from single mom homes. Thank you so much. Yeah. Why did I get into that? Because she actively betrays any masculine lessons between the father and the son. She does not want him masculine. She wants the son effeminate as a punishment to his father. Are y'all understanding that part of it? She punishing the son and the father. Why is it a punishment to the father? Because she knows that the father do not want to see the effeminization process of his son. He knows she know he don't want to see that. She knows that will break his heart. So even when the daddy do something that teaches the boy masculinity, she go right behind the daddy back and undermine everything that his father just said. When he slipped to the boo-boo and scrape his knee, here she come running. She don't listen to the daddy, say, let him cry a little bit. I got him. I ain't gonna let him get hurt too bad. All he did was skin his little knee. Every little boy skin his knee. He got to learn how to skin his knee and get up. He got to learn how to skin his knee, and that mama ain't going to come get him all the time. Because in the world of men, no one saves men. Nobody saves men. Nobody. Men have to save themselves. And you got to learn that as a little bitty boy. See, women don't have that dynamic. Everybody saves us. Everybody want to save us. Everybody looks to us with an empathetic eye. They don't look to men for empathy, not even when he's a little boy. So the little boy got to learn that if he's trying to learn how to ride his little bike and he fall off of the bike and he skin his little knee, sometimes he got to cry. And mama ain't going to come get him. Now get on up. Are you all right? And get on up. Come on. You all right? Get up. And after the little boy learned that lesson, then the daddy kisses boo-boo. Come here. That's daddy's little man. Come on, let me put a Band-Aid on it now. You done for the day or you want to ride some more? I want to ride it. I want to ride some more. You want to ride your bike some more? Yeah. Your knee ain't hurting? A little bit. You sure you want to ride? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Norrin. Thank you so much, Norrin. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Xavier said women don't understand the difference between hurt versus injured. No. But it's a punishment. Effeminizing the boy. And making a boy a son husband is effeminizing him. He may not turn out that's not what I mean. When I say she's effeminizing him, what I mean is she's doing everything to tamp down his masculine impulses and to make him not respond in a masculine energy to things that he's naturally inclined to do. He's naturally inclined to respond in a masculine way to things because that's how he's hardwired. But she divert that through sign language, through gaslighting, through reverse reward and punishment. So she reward him for effeminate behavior and punish him for masculine behavior. So anytime he demonstrates his masculine behavior or his natural authority, she punish him for that the best that she can. So when he get a little older and he raises his voice at her, now she want to go to extremes to re-subjugate him. But at about 14 years old, just about every boy can take his mama. He done got a little pubic hair. He done got his little testosterone done shot up. He in puberty. And them little hits she got going don't hurt no more. They hurt when he was all of 7 years old. He about 14. He about 15, 6'2". They don't hurt. And he looking at her like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. See, she can still hurt a girl. She can still hurt a girl. But that boy is experiencing a different kind of pain. She reward effeminate behavior and she punishes masculine behavior. So there's a reverse psychology that she's actually performing on the boy. It's a punishment to the boy for being born that man's child, completely not taking no accountability or responsibility for these choices. Thank you, Miss 39 Dina. The son, as a punishment for the boy, the son must serve her as compensation for belonging to a man she hates. He has to pay her for that. And the way in which the son pay her for that is that he become the son husband. He must serve her as a husband and be subjugated under her as a son well into his adulthood, never to be let go if she can help it. The price that the son has to pay for being born of a man she hates is that the son must now serve her as a slave. She enslaves him in the son-husband dynamic. It's slavery to the boy. And they always talking about how they ain't gonna be no slave to somebody. You a slave master. She enslaves the son under son husbandship. And he needs to be psychologically enslaved to her for life. He needs to remain easy to manipulate. And even then, she will ridicule his lack of masculinity when it's time to devalue him, without taking accountability and responsibility for the fact that she's the cause of his effeminate energy. Did you understand what I just said? Put a 2 in the chat if you want me to repeat that. The son, as a punishment for being born of the man she hates, the son must be psychologically enslaved as a son husband, possibly for life. He needs to remain easy for her to manipulate, and then she will ridicule his lack of masculinity and his feminine energy when it come time to devalue him, without taking any accountability or responsibility for the fact that she's the one that robbed him of that masculine energy and gave him that feminine mindset. So for example, when he gets grown and he gets into relationships and he acts in a relationship as the feminine chaotic part of that relationship, he's dysfunctional, or he responds in his relationship the way that she responds in her relationship, then she will ridicule him. You is acting like a bee. Why you doing that? You not acting like no real man. But she didn't raise a real man. You understand what I mean? Thank you, Norrin. Lil Scrappy. When we did that video, remember that we did that video, I think it was last year, about Lil Scrappy finally saying some things to Mama D that he needed to say? Because she was raised as a son husband to another dysfunctional mother that'll say she did the best she could and she deserved to be treated a certain way because she is mama. Thank you, Mr. BDX, for the calls. Thank you so much. The son husband is a punishment to both the father and the child. This is a wicked system. And this is a wicked mindset. And black women are refusing to shake out of it. Refusing any and all accountability for their participation. Their active participation. Not their passive, not their ignorant participation, but their active, knowing participation in the breaking, in the buck breaking of black boys. And then want to get on social media and ask where the real men are. Ask your mama and your mama friends where the real men went. Ask her. Ask your 47-year-old grandmama what happened to him. Today, I just wanted to demonstrate and break open the myth that all these single mothers have this undying love for their children. No, they don't. It's only a handful of black women in today's time that even deserve the title of mother. It's only a few. It is only a few black women who are having children and are genuinely mothers to their children. The rest of y'all don't deserve Mother's Day. Because you're not mothers, just because you birth children out. I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Because it's a point that we need to talk about in a space where we're talking about the pathology within the black community with a focus on black female pathology. We have to talk about the mothering aspect because that's where a lot of this stuff starts in the home. There are so many black men with mommy issues. The first woman to ever break their heart and break their spirit be the women who take care of them. Be that they mother or auntie or grandma or a somebody. Usually it's whoever the mother or mother figure is to them breaks them. And a lot of times, because the men don't have an outlet to express what's going on to them, with them, they don't even realize they be having mommy issues until all their relationships fail. And they don't know what's going on and why the relationships keep on failing, even though they're doing what they perceive to be the best that they can in the relationship. Come to find out they operating in a chaotic feminine energy and they ain't even know it. And when I say a chaotic feminine energy, I don't mean this kind of energy. I mean just acting outside of order. A man that can't bring order to nothing. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for their very generous contributions through Super Chat. We're going to see if we got anything from Cash App. Thank you, Rasheem. We just got one today. Thank you so much, Rasheem, for your contribution. I greatly appreciate it. Before we sign out, go ahead to crimsoncure.com and get your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery. It is on sale now at crimsoncure.com, so don't hesitate to go ahead and click the link and pick up your copy. Also, the digital copy is on sale on Amazon as well. Okay? So be sure to do that. For those of you who saw my video earlier, there is a woman who has been a subscriber of mine and a watcher of mine for a long time, but she's battling long COVID, and it has really taken a toll on her personally and on her finances. There's a GoFundMe link, and I would like for one of my mods to go to that video and grab that link for me, please, and put it in the chat. If you guys want to go to it, and if you want to contribute or donate to that cause, please do so if you would like to do so. Are you all able to go and get the link? I may need to have to do it. Excuse me. Let me see. Here is the link, should you guys feel it generous in your hearts to do so. I promise that I would put that up there. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank everybody for coming through. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.